to Protecting Seas. I'm Nikki, I'm the co-founder of Mimoana, and thank you so much for joining, Alex. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, I'm speaking to the youth leader of the Nautilus Project, is that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Amazing. So, what is the Nautilus Project for those that don't know?
So the Nautilus Project is a group that me and my brother gave the idea of to my parents. It is a group where we go and protect Gibraltar's coastline. So we have many different activities such as beach cleans. We go scuba diving for people who are qualified, and we clean the debris underwater. We spread awareness in schools.
That is amazing. It's such a big project as well. It's actually quite similar to what we do. So it's great to connect and see what you're doing in different countries, technically. Because you're in Gibraltar, is that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Exactly. So technically in different countries, which is really cool. We actually joined the Nautilus Project on a cleanup once for World Cleanup Day, I think it was, a World Ocean Day, about 2 years ago. And it was such a big event and it was amazing and it was so cool to see how you functioned and how you worked. And it was really an inspiration and yeah, just a great example of how to do it, which was really, really cool. So good job.
Thank you.
Um, Now you're the youth leader. Why is that?
Yeah.
And what do you do exactly?
So I have progressed quite a bit. So I started off down the bottom like everyone else, and like I was one of the well, not one of the first med heroes. I have continued to grow like higher up. So I've just qualified my open water for diving. I have my boat license. I have dive against debris, and I've got quite a few qualifications, which has helped me get higher up there.
Wow, that is amazing. And welcome to the dive industry.
Thank you.
Did you like it? How was it?
It's a very impressive and like amazing. It's a whole new world.
Well, that's amazing. No, welcome to the industry. I hope you progress in the diving. I mean, scuba diving is one of the most amazing things to do. Although in Gibraltar, I must admit, it's very cold. But
Yeah.
the shipwrecks that you have are amazing, and I love diving there. So I'm sure you'll do really well.
Thank you.
And you're the youth leader. So what is your responsibilities exactly?
So we have different groups. So we have groups for people on Med Ocean Heroes, so like schools and that. We have people who come to beach cleans, and then we take some Duke of Edinburgh people as their service, and we have different groups. So as youth leader, I am in charge of all the children. So there's different ranks. So I am the youth leader, and then below there's like who will take care of the bronze award for Nautilus, who will take care of the silver, and everything they do goes through me.
Wow, that is a huge responsibility. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like leading people. That's good. I'm sure they'll come in really handy once you get to the top. That'll be really that's really good. It's an amazing responsibility you have, and that way you can also educate younger ones, the next generation or our generation, which is amazing because you're how old again?
I am 16, turning 17 in a month or two.
Wow, and you're doing all these things, really huge responsibilities. That's really
Thank you.
going to come in really handy once you start working and, having to lead others. That's going to be really amazing. Now, you've done a lot of cleanups, right? Also
Yeah.
underwater.
Yeah.
Any maybe strange objects you found?
So there hasn't really been a main strange object. We get a variety of rubbish in the ocean. So we can go from tires to car. I think it was the headboard of a car. We have chairs, sandals, just the usual glass bottles, plastics, everything. Really.
Wow, there's so much rubbish in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
And now that you dive, you can also see it from underwater. And do you clean
Yeah.
up when you dive?
Yeah, me, when I get the opportunity to dive, I will. And I'm more like, I enjoy snorkeling a lot. I do it as a hobby. And every time I go down, I always make sure to bring up as much rubbish as I can find.
That's amazing. That's the first step, isn't it? So every time that you see something, to just pick it up, which you also learned in your Dive Against Debris certification, to
Yeah.
just pick up anything you see, although it's not ours, to just pick it up, right?
Yeah.
That's really good. So, seeing how the ocean is now, it's
Mhm.
pretty well, full of rubbish, isn't it? It's quite
Yeah.
dirty. And I personally don't enjoy swimming in the middle of it. I don't know if you do.
No, I don't think
So,
anyone does.
no, I don't think so. But you never know. But I don't think so. Do you think it's really important to keep doing this?
I think it's very important if we want to carry on spending time in the ocean. And everyone loves marine animals, everyone loves dolphins, everyone loves turtles. And unfortunately, the more rubbish we put in, the more animals die. So I think it's very important that we keep the oceans clean if we want to carry on with a good biodiversity in the ocean and all these animals.
Yeah, you're so right. And I know I follow you guys, and I see that you sometimes find dead dolphins and
Yeah.
turtles. I mean, what have you found? What's happening?
So we've had dead dolphins. I think one of them it would just like got trapped under the rocks, but sometimes it could be. So there's the microplastics that small fish might eat, and it goes across the food chain. So it goes from the smaller fish, it will go to the bigger fish. It can lead to dolphins, and when the turtles eat the plastic bags, they can't digest it. So eventually, they will feel full when really they're starving to death. And at the end of the day, the fish that eat the plastic, we eat fish as well, so it ends up in us.
Yeah, definitely. You're so right. I'm sure. I mean, most of us probably have at least a few pieces of plastic in our digestive system,
Yeah.
definitely. And they say that they've discovered now it even goes through blood and through the little particles that we have in our body. So it transports through our body, which means, there can be a piece of plastic in your foot right now. You don't know.
Yeah, very true.
But it is dangerous if it then comes up to maybe our brain or our lungs. We have so many vital organs that then if we do have those pieces of plastic, which are very, very small but very important, that we then have them in our bodies, it's a bit freaky to think about,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is.
Well, you said a really important thing there. So it's really important that we clean our oceans for the animals, right?
Yeah.
Now, I
Our
absolutely,
average hole, our average hole normally in the beach cleans really, which is quite horrific to be honest. I don't know how it is around the world, but our average haul is 70 kilograms of plastic.
wow, wow, just a plastic. And think about it, plastic, for instance, plastic bottles, they don't weigh anything.
No.
So there needs to be so much to then, weigh that amount. We pick up 300 kilograms easily on a cleanup.
Mhm.
It's full of trash, and as I say, plastic bottles don't weigh anything, so it's just crazy amounts of plastic.
Yeah.
And I mean, all these ropes that we find underwater. I'm a diver myself, and underwater here, it's full.
Mm.
I did
It's
notice
the same here.
I did notice that Gibraltar was quite clean compared to what we have. I've
Mhm.
only seen maybe one or two cans or plastic bag. I don't know if it just seems that way.
Well, that just shows we're doing a good job then.
Yeah, you're doing an amazing job. You're doing a really, really good job, because I rarely find anything. So that's an amazing job you're doing. But I'm sure that the beaches are quite
Yeah,
quite trashy.
quite.
Some things
Our
that you find on the beach.
Some things we find on the beach. So our beach clean span they're like 1 hour, but on the beach we can find from chairs that are broken, tables that are broken, trainers. We've got I think the backboard we found in the car was on the beach. There is lots of straws which can be very harmful to the turtles if it gets stuck in their noses. There is the 6-pack holders, plastic
Oh yeah.
bags. And it's the worst though, the plastic bags and bottles, because it takes 400 years to biodegrade in the ocean. So it's just floating.
Well, it's an amazing job that you're doing, and I'm sure it's all with volunteers, right, on the beach.
There are many volunteers, so we get the Duke of Edinburgh Hall that come when they can, and at the community here in Gibraltar, everyone's very supportive of everyone. So we get around 20 people plus a beach clean.
Wow, that's a big group. No, that's amazing. And you've done
Yeah,
many cleanups as well, haven't you? Because I saw it was like 100 now.
yeah, our 100th beach clean is on the 17th of February at
Wow,
10:30 at the historic Roger Bay.
that's amazing. I hope that people actually come and help, because it's a big event. It's 100th. It's an amazing
Yeah,
achievement, but it's also really necessary, isn't it?
very.
Well, I'll definitely put that information in the information box. But it's an amazing job that you're doing, and you also spoke about education, and you said that you educate as well.
Yeah, so I've been to a few of the school talks myself. It's my dad that leads them, and there we have different PowerPoints. So we can have dolphins and orcas. We have how plastic affects the ocean, and there's quite a variety. Come to when we right now there has been we've seen over the last year there's been a decline of sea urchins. This could be because of the invasive Japanese species of seaweed, Rugalopteryx okamari, and it's an invasive species that's been killing all the sea urchins, and it's had a big decline. I remember I used to see at least a minimum of 5 sea urchins every time I go diving or snorkeling. Now there's barely any.
Wow, how sad, isn't it? And you can really see it yourself what the effects are, don't you?
Yeah.
It's really sad. Well, I definitely hope that it will improve very soon. You do an amazing job. I said it's quite similar, may I say, to what we do. We clean the beaches and the oceans every month, and then we educate at schools for little ones from like 8 years old up to well adults, anyone that will come to the cleanup. So that can be 50 or 60 years old. And we also recycle then what we find. So we turn it into jewelry,
Positive.
which is really cool. And we always dive with the cleanup. And I mean, what our divers find is just, you can't even imagine. It's just the weirdest things, from fridges to bicycles to credit cards to packages from 1930. It's just, it's the most craziest things. And you can tell it's really necessary. So you're doing an amazing job. Really thank you from myself and other creatures in the ocean.
Thank you. You guys are doing an amazing job too.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I hope to join your cleanup very soon. I'm sure I will. Maybe not the 100th, but maybe the 101st.
I hope we can collaborate in the future.
Amazing. Well, we've got a cleanup on the 4th of March in Fuengirola. So anyone that's listening that would like to come, even all the way from Gibraltar, you're more than welcome to come dive, help on the beach, help sort out what we find. We need all the volunteers that we can. So just come and join us. You can find it on our website or on Facebook, Instagram. And we hope that so many people will come to clean, because that part of the beach is really, really dirty that we're going to clean. So, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for sharing about what the Nautilus Project does in Gibraltar. It's an amazing project, huge project, and I'm sure it will continue to improve and increase with time. So you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
The next vodcast is going to be next week. It will be about eco-friendly products made from bamboo. So we're going to see what we can make from bamboo and how to change our lifestyle and improve the planet that way. So, hope to see you very, very soon, and hope to talk to you very soon. And talk to you next week.